Here we go. All right, what's going on with this camera? Does it look a little fuzzy?
Yeah.
What's up with that? Why is it looking fuzzy? Weird.
You know what? It did that last time, you know? And
Yeah,
I thought
I
it was
don't
my
know.
shirt.
I don't know why it's doing that. What's
And I
going
thought
on, everyone? We're getting set up here, trying to figure this out. It looks fuzzy. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, why does it look like that?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Very weird. See that shirt? Looks a little grainy. Yes. What's up, Carter? Thanks for coming in. Wilcox Outdoors. Appreciate you stopping in. I'm just going to figure this out. I don't know if there's really anything we could do about it, other than if we just exit here and go live with just regular YouTube. Yeah, it looks bad.
That's weird.
Getting out the technical difficulties before we get started. Yeah, it's almost like it's a little delayed too.
Why do you think it's always delayed by like a few seconds?
Yeah, Stacking Kid. What's going on, Wyatt? Yeah, I don't know. Is it looking too bad, guys? What do you think? Is it looking like it's too grainy? You know, I don't know if I should either go with it. Let's see if when it's looking at the stones. Not as bad when it's looking at the stones. Maybe we'll just go with it. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the background. Does that have something to do with the light?
Carter said it's only bad with movement.
Nah. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's like the metal on the knives is like making a funny.
Yeah, I don't know, guys, but we're just gonna roll with it. Just gonna wait for a few people to come in here. I think we got 11 in here right now. So everybody, what's going on? BBQ by Biggs, thanks for stopping in. J-Dubs, what's going on? Under the counter lights.
You try it without it.
Do we think it's that? Turn that off. Oh, that might have helped. That definitely might have helped.
What about if you turn off that light? Because do you really need it?
Which one? This one?
No,
Yeah.
no, that one.
That could be better too, right? Yeah, much better.
I don't know.
The resolution, maybe a server, Wi-Fi stream modes. I don't know, guys. We're gonna roll with it. I think that that helped a little bit, turning that light down.
Oh, my mom said the same thing.
Yeah. But thank you, everybody, for coming in. Mark J. Larson, how are you? Thank you. I appreciate it. I learned something new in your trapping videos as well. I'm not a trapper, just fishing and cooking, and it's good to see something different, you know? Learn a little bit from other people here. But yeah, we're gonna sharpen some knives today. Show you guys how I do it. I mean, I am not a professional, but I've been sharpening for a little bit, and you know, if this helps you out, then that's awesome. Yeah, I'll show you guys what kind of stuff I use, and we'll start sharpening. I'll try my best to answer questions. I got Mara here in the background. She's going to try to mediate the chat a little bit. So if I miss something or anybody has questions, you know, we'll try our best to read all those. But yeah, let's start. First thing I'm going to do is soak one of these stones. These are wet stones, Japanese wet stones, and you should soak them for about 10-15 minutes before you're going to use them. Just because, you know, you got to let a little water go into the stone because it's porous. The less gritty ones you don't have to soak for as long, but I'm going to go ahead and soak that while we talk about some other stuff here. We got a bunch of different knives, how to sharpen them. As I was saying there, going through all the stuff here, I have a few different stones. This is the 1000, the 800 grit stone. I use anywhere from 8 to 1000 on a like a more coarse stone. This is gonna really, give the knife a new edge. And I'd say like standard sharpening, we're using, anywhere from 1000 grit stones up to a 6000 here. Is it looking grainy?
No, he just wants to see your face a little.
I'm going to show this though for now.
Oh, okay, it's all good.
This is a 6000 grit stone, more fine. This is going to polish the edge more to the other one there is really kind of making an edge. This one here is going to polish it. This is a stone holder, so some of the other stones, you just put it in there so it doesn't slide. I got a 240 degree, grit stone. This one really is just for fixing edges. You won't really need to use this unless your knife is like really, really dull, like really dull. And this is just a fixing stone. So when you're sharpening knives, sometimes the surface is going to get a little uneven, and you're just going to use this to flatten it out, wash it off. And that's pretty much standard sharpening. I would typically use like between 1 and 6000 stones. That is like the standard. So if you're looking to go out there and buy some stones, like they actually make combo stones that are 1 in 6000. So that's actually even cheaper. I just have them separate because it's a little bit of a bigger stone, but that's definitely more cost effective to get a 1000, 6000 stone that's a combo. So we're also going to talk about steels because these are a little bit different from sharpening. A lot of people think that these honing rods sharpen a knife. They really don't. All they really do is align the blade. So if after you use a knife for a while from doing a lot of chopping, actually like the blade on like a microscopic level kind of curves. So all the steel really does is it brings that blade back straight. So it makes it feel like it's sharper, but it's really not. You're just kind of like extending the life of the knife. Once the steel doesn't make the knife sharp anymore, it's time to sharpen, and that's when the whetstones really come in. I have two. These are two kinds of honing rods that you can have. This is a regular stainless steel. It's actually best for a more German steel knives. Anything really hard steel. I typically use a honing rod like that on a German knife. This ceramic steel, I use these on my Japanese knives just because it's a little softer. So on something like this is a Damascus steel knife. It's a little less harsh than the stainless, a little bit softer. And there's a few different ways you can use that. People online, you see Gordon Ramsay using the honing steel, and he's going a different way than maybe you might do. I mean, there's really no wrong way as long as you're just like maintaining the angle. Some people do it from the heel of the knife to the tip at like 20 degrees. Do it away from you sometimes if you don't feel comfortable, or some people do it towards them. I typically do it towards myself, trying to keep that 20-degree angle. But if you want to do it away from yourself, that's totally fine as well. And usually you don't have to do it like a million times either. Like people in kitchens and stuff, you see them going like 1,000 times on there. Like usually a few passes, and like that's like pretty much good to get back to chopping. So that is the steels that I use: ceramic, regular old stainless steel, and that's all the sharpening stuff that I use. I'm not going to get super into detail, but we'll talk about like a little bit into detail on knives. I have a few different ones here. They're all pretty much chef knives, but I use them differently. So like we were going at, this is a a German steel Wusthof. I think it's 8.4 inches. And this is like a hard knife, no flex. You know, the handle's pretty heavy. And this is a knife that's going to be used for more of like tasks like chopping, like maybe even if you have to go through a piece of bone. Like I wouldn't use that, but I mean, if you need to do something like a little bit of a heavier task, breaking down something, you know, like a heavier knife that you can really put some force in, like this knife is probably like the workhorse, you know. Another knife, for an example, is the Santoku, a vegetable knife. You know, as you can see, the blade here is pretty much straight. So that allows you to do like a nice chopping, you know, on some vegetables. Going towards the Japanese knives, this is the Kikuchi. This is a Damascus steel VG10. It's hammered, so actually I really use this for slicing. You know, the hammered finish there kind of helps food not stick to it. Same thing with the Santoku. The vegetables kind of just fall off those divots right there. But yeah, those are some different types of knives. That one is more of a slicing knife. I actually wanted to compare them together. It's actually like Japanese steel versus German steel. As you can see, this knife right here, this is a Japanese knife. You can see it's actually like pretty thin compared to the Wusthof. As you can see, it's got a lot more backbone there. So that's the thinner knife is going to really be for more finesse applications. But yeah, if you have any questions about knives, you know, German steel, these are all stainless steel. They're going to hold an edge. Like once you sharpen it, it's going to hold an edge probably longer than the Japanese steel. And that's why I like them too, because when you sharpen them, they stay pretty sharp for a while. And I find that I sharpen the Japanese knives a little bit more. Yeah, so talking about knives, stainless steel knives, carbon knives. This is actually, we got to get into that, a carbon knife. This is actually just like a stainless steel knife, but it doesn't have a compound in it that makes it stainless. So if you get a carbon steel knife, you got to know that you have to wipe it pretty much like every time, because if you cut something acidic, it can start rusting a little bit. And as you can see, the finish there, it's actually called a patina. It's a little bit of a protective layer there, but it's not going to be completely smooth like a stainless steel knife. It's going to have a little bit of like a rustic look to it. But yeah, that's enough about knives. And we're going to start sharpening. I'm going to do a few today, show you how I do them. One of them I'm actually going to fix the tip because somehow it got messed up. So that's the 800 grit stone. If you have 800 or 1000, that's probably ideal. Usually that's what I'll start off with. But we're actually going to fix the edge on this, because as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, the very end there's a little chip. First things first, though, I got to cut some paper. You know, I'm pretty sure these are gonna cut through, but it's not gonna be clean. Okay. I'm gonna sharpen this one today. This is a Mazaharu. I'm gonna sharpen this today. So it's gonna go through, but it's not gonna go through clean. You have to use a little bit of force. The tip there is definitely more dull. We're going to sharpen that today and fix the tip. Probably going to do the Wusthof here too, German knife. So we can do one Japanese, one German. This one's actually slicing it pretty decent. Like a lot of my knives, I try to keep in pretty good shape. But I'm pretty sure this other knife, I don't know if this one's going to slice the paper. I haven't sharpened it in a while. Let's see if this one's going to do it. Yeah, see this one, the Kikuchi? It looks sharp, but it's really not as sharp as it could be. So maybe we'll do those today. All right, so we'll do these few. We'll start off with fixing the tip on this one knife, which I don't really do often. But this is a 240 grit stone, so it's going to be definitely more coarse. Once again, you're going to want to soak your stones. I'm just going to put a little bit of water on here. You don't really have to soak the 240 for very long. And we're just going to use the top of it, actually, and hold the knife like this. I'm going to really try to get the view. Maybe I'll have to put the computer down here. See if this is looking better, guys. For everybody coming in here, thanks for stopping in. We're going to sharpen some knives. If you have any questions, feel free. Is that better? That looks better. So this, we're actually going to just kind of trace it. And I know this sound here isn't great, but I only ever use this thing to fix tips. So it's going to drag this along with the shape of it. That's got to be a horrible sound, guys. I'm sorry. And we're just going to really just take that chip out. This is kind of like a beater stone. Like it really is only used to really fix like a really big problem with the edge or a burr or something like that. That's the only time I'm ever using that. As you can see, I mean, I haven't really been working on it that long, but where are we? It's starting to get better. I'm going to keep doing that a little bit more until we get that edge back. You can work on the side a little bit here. Just kind of following the knife here. You know, it's got this shape. Just following that on the stone. Sorry, that's got to be a bad sound, guys. Once we get this tip corrected, it's not going to sound like that. So please stay put here for just a second. All right, we almost got the tip back. Very close. All right. That's pretty good. Thank God, guys. That part's over. That is the worst sounding thing. Glad you can see the tip there is back. Used to be chipped, and now we got a tip back. So now we're on to the second part.
Gabrielle asks, how did you learn how to do this?
Really, I just like kind of learned myself. I mean, I've watched like some YouTube videos on it. Maybe in culinary school, we got a brief little section on it. But it's kind of like one of those things that I just learned on my own, you know. So I'm going to tighten this. This is the 800 grit stone. You can use an 800 or 1000. That's typically going to be a good base stone. I'm going to put this towel right by here just in case you start dripping too much. So what you want to do is take some water and just drizzle that right on top. You want to have a little bit of water here so you can start making, you're going to see there's going to be this sort of paste that's going to form. And I'm going to hold this knife with my right hand. If you're I'm actually a lefty, so this is going to be opposite for other people. I'm going to hold this knife, my right hand, trying to put pressure on the blade, not too much, but just enough. And I'm going to hold this knife at about a 20-degree angle. And you're going to want to keep that angle the whole time as best as you can. And if you can't, that's all right. I think they make a tool that you can actually put on the knife to keep this thing at that perfect angle. But once you do it for a little bit, you can just kind of eyeball it. So let's get started here. So I'm going to do nice press, like I said, and we're going to use this whole stone. Oh, last thing before I start. Depending on what kind of bevel your knife is, this is a 50-50 blade. So we're going to go half on one side, half on the other side. It's going to be straight, simple, just like that. If you had a different special Japanese knife that was 70% angle on the one side, you're going to have to sharpen it different. But this is just for standard sharpening. Any knife is usually 50-50. Boom. So we're going to start there. So some people count this, but I'm just going to do it to feel. I'll just do it around maybe, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute on one side, switch to the other. What I'm doing, I got that 20-degree angle, and I'm really going to use the whole stone. Going between the front, the back, you can switch it around to the sides.
Is there a difference between dragging the edge front to back?
Not so much. You want to put the pressure when you're going down, when you're going towards the blade. So really, that's the most important part. But when you're going back, you're not putting as much pressure. Because you just want to go to that contour of the knife right there. There's a few different ways you can sharpen. You can use this method I'm using right here. This is just, using the whole stone, edge to edge, kind of at an angle here, 20 degrees. You can do that for a little bit. Then you could switch in this. Just using the whole knife, kind of angling it, doing a little sweep along the whole stone. And as you can see, that we're starting to get a little bit of that black residue. That's the steel coming off the knife. Now, a lot of people wipe that off. A lot of people don't save that. I put a little bit of water on it once I run out, and that steel, that little black stuff coming off the stone, that's actually going to help sharpen the knife because it's little bits of steel. And then once you mix that with the stone, it actually helps sharpen. So as you can see, we've been going on this side a little bit, trying to use the whole stone, sharpening some knives. All right. So we've gone like this a little bit. We've gone with a contour. We've gone up and down through the whole stone. This is the most typical way you see a lot of people sharpening knives. Now we're going to flip it around the other side. Some people actually move their stone a little bit like that, create a better angle. And same thing, going this way, we're going to get the other side. So you're actually going to be able to see this towards you a little bit better. A little bit. You can hear it. A little bit of a better sound. It's not that horrible sound. Fixing the tip on the 240 stone. Definitely sounds better. You can hear it. Just trying to push on the way down. Not too hard. But we're definitely applying some pressure. And you can see that stuff coming off there in the end. Definitely that brown residue there. I'll put a little more water on.
Why do you put the water?
This is a wet stone, a water stone, and you need water to be the lubricant. If you were just doing this on a dry stone, it really wouldn't be sharpening as well.
How do you know when to switch to a higher grit stone? like 5,000 or 6,000 to finish.
So typically on the level, how the knife was before you started sharpening, if your knife was really, really dull, you might have to do this a little bit longer. You might be on here for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. If your knife was like in decent shape, not like razor sharp, but like couldn't pass the paper test or something like that, you know, maybe it would be a little bit faster. But typically, I'm going to say I spend like 20 minutes, maybe at least 20, 25 minutes on each knife. Let's see, we're just going to go a little bit faster here, keeping that angle. Really working the knife. And once you do this a little bit, each knife is different. Each bevel is different. You'll see it feels different on the stone, and you'll feel the knife almost catching on it, like it just feels right.
You don't have to go, like at first you won't go fast. You want to get the technique first.
Yes. If you want to go slow and just worry about this from here to here, and just go back and do that, and that's perfect. As long as you're keeping the angle, that's the most important part. So we're just going to keep doing this. So this is another thing some people do. You won't really see that many people do it. I do it sometimes. Sometimes they'll take the knife, and if you really are like want to focus on the tip here, you'll almost make like little circles. And I kind of go from the bottom up. If you really like want to just put work in on the tip here, a lot of people will just use the one side of the stone there and just do little circles, little forward and back. You can see that better. I'm going to do it on this side now. I wonder if you can see that better like that. Some people will do that. They really want to focus on this part. But if you just use the whole stone from the front to the back, it's easier this way too. Front to the back. Try to get the whole blade. Applying pressure. We'll say once again, so that's the one side of the knife. For those of you just coming in, that's how you're going to get the one side. Like flip the knife right around. That's how you get the other side. Little recap there. Anybody new in the chat? We're sharpening some stones. Right now I got my lowest grit stone. This is 800. Typically, I'll sharpen on an 800 or 1,000 grit stone, then use a 6,000 grit finishing stone, which I got right here next to me. And we're just talking about form right now, how to sharpen.
So Campbell's Soup asks, if you had a 1,000, 6,000 combo stone, is there any reason to own stones between 1K and 6K or anything higher than 6K?
Not in a professional setting. That's really all the stones you're going to need to really sharpen any knife. I mean, even for me, I have my 6,000, I have the 240, I have the 800 here, I have a 1,000, but I really don't use the 1,000 that much. Just because the 800 here is just a little bit of a bigger stone. It's really not that much of a difference in grit. So really just to sharpen a knife at home or in a professional kitchen, I'm going to say most people just use a 1 and 6,000 grit stone. That's going to sharpen most knives. So that's perfect. Unless you run into an issue that you have like a burr, like we just fixed here on that 240. That's the only time you're going to need another stone. I'd say the only thing you'd look into maybe is a flattening stone, which we're going to get into here in a second. Once we feel like we did this knife enough. So I'm going to go fast a little bit here. I know this is probably not getting picked up by the camera very well. That's how it looks slow. If you're just starting sharpening knives, that's how I do it. Same thing on the other side here. Let's see if we can get that towards you. Try to use the whole stone there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Trying my best, guys. I know the angle isn't great, but yeah, you want to try to get the whole blade. So you can feel it here. I'm starting to feel the edge coming back. We're going to go a little bit more. Putting a little bit of water down. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a curve here. Just kind of letting that knife now kind of work its way like this. A little bit of a swoop. That's another way you can do it. Now you can feel after sharpening for a little bit, I'm starting to feel it, that the stone is starting to get a little bit uneven. That's to be expected, you know. Every part that you use here is going to wear down a little bit. So it's going to get less flat, a little bit more bowed in the middle, flatter on the sides because there's more contact on the blade with that. And I'll flatten the stone when I go to the next knife. So I'll show you guys how to do that. I'm going to sharpen everything here on the 800 first. And then we'll go to the 6,000. Let's see, guys. Anybody know how long I've been sharpening this thing so far? I know you can rewind in the live. So we'll get an estimate on how long I've been doing this. I'm going to say we've been going for like 8 minutes. I don't know. Maybe longer. Just to get an idea for those at home, getting into knife sharpening, it really helps. Having a sharp knife at home, you'd be surprised. I know people probably heard it before, but you do cut yourself less on a sharp knife than a dull knife. Because a dull one, you end up cutting some food and it slips because it's not sharp, doesn't go through what you want to. And you're shit out of luck. Oh, can we say that? I don't know. I'm kidding. That's all right. We're not getting in trouble.
Campbell Soup says, does Line Cook test his knife sharpness by seeing if the blade can shave his arm hair?
Maybe we'll do that.
It's a good test.
It's a good test. I don't know if we're going to get it ridiculously sharp like that without maybe 8,000. But this will definitely be past the paper test. You'll see. It'll be more sharp than you'll need. See how that feels. Starting to feel good. About 12 minutes on the brownstone, Carter. Alrighty. We're probably about there.
Now what grit is this one?
This is 800.
Okay.
But 1,000 works just fine. All my stones also, they are, I am not sponsored, but these are King stones. King, if you're here, I'd love to talk about stuff with you. Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, if you get a 1,000, 6,000 grit stone combination, I mean, I don't know, those will run you about $40. If you want to go get a knife sharpened professionally, that's going to cost you like, I don't know, 10, 20 bucks. And sometimes they don't even do a great job. When we were working in the city, there's a knife shop downtown called Corinne. Probably some people might have heard of it. They are an awesome shop. They have really, really cool knives. But I dropped one of my knives off and had them sharpen it, and it came back, and I don't know, just it wasn't great. You know, I remember paying like $12 for that, and it was just it wasn't great. So might as well just buy the stones. You could do it yourself, and it'll come out just as good, if not better. Like, I don't even think theirs cut the paper. You know, I was like kind of upset. You remember that?
Which knife? Did you have them fix the tip? It's that big one, right?
Yeah, I had them fix the tip, and then they sharpened it.
They fixed the tip, though.
They fixed the tip great. All right, we're going to call it on that. So what you're going to want to do, wash it off here. Don't want to let that stuff sit on there. I'm just going to dry this one and set it off to the side. The next one's going to be this Kikuchi here. And to flatten the stone, I got a flattening stone right here. It's a small little stone, I mean thin. And you're going to put some water. Let's see if I can change the angle. The computer. I'm going to do this by ear because I'll use a lot of water. Let me drink some water. Cheers. Wet that stone with some cold water. And you're just going to use this in a circular motion. This is going to sound bad. Turn your volume down. Let's see if I can get the, it's a perfect time to show this. So just by doing that right there, as you can see, the first thing that started to shave down were the sides. This middle part is a little bit raised because we were using the sides more. That's just how it's going to happen. So if you don't have a flattening stone, you're going to have this slight little bevel here in the middle, and that's not going to be ideal for sharpening. So we're going to go ahead and put some more water on there. Flatten that down.
Campbell says, any tips for sharpening knives with thick heels or small knives like paring knives?
It's going to be the same way. You're just going to follow the knife. Everything's different. This is a Gyudo, this type of knife, so it's going to be a little bit more of a dramatic drop here at the end versus like this is like a standard German knife. Like Wusthof makes them like this. Henkel. A lot of people, as you can see, the tip here kind of just like slowly just fades away into a tip. We can sharpen this one too if we have time. But let's see how fast we can do this. This is nice and flat now. I gave it a rinse. Because that stone, you kind of pick up a little bit of gritty stuff there, so give that a wash. Get some fresh water. And we're on to the next one. We're going to do this, the Damascus. You can feel it instantly. The stone feels different. You brought back the flat edge, the flat surface, and you can feel it. Like you feel the knife grab it better.
Talk about William, what he did to your stone.
Oh yeah, I had a flattening stone that I literally just got. He's like, Steve, can I borrow it? I'm gonna sharpen my knives. You know, I just want a flattening stone so I can flatten my stones, whatever, you get it. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. He brings it back to me, and literally the middle of this stone was like down to like nothing, and the sides were all still thick, and it looked like a freaking like a dome. I was like, oh my God, what were you doing, man? He's like, what do you mean? Like, I just didn't even say anything. I just felt too bad. I was just like, I'll just take it back. I'm like, no problem. Threw that thing in the trash and just bought another one.
Yeah, I don't think he noticed.
He was like, oh, it's not a one-time use flattening stone. You know? I just thought it was so funny. So we're doing the same thing. This knife, almost same thing as the Japanese knife. Just you got to follow the edge a little bit different.
Now, would you use that one to fillet fish?
You can. I've used it before. You know, actually, I like filleting fish with chef knives. But people prefer usually a more flexible blade. We see a lot of Japanese chefs. They'll sharpen with they'll fillet with chef knives. I think at the end of the day, it's all personal preference for everything, and you don't have to use a specific thing for a certain task. You use whatever you want.
Oh no, Carter wants us to test by slicing a tomato at the end.
We don't have any tomatoes.
I'm sorry, Carter. No tomatoes.
No tomatoes, Carter.
Maybe you could slice an onion pieces like the, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll cut an onion. We'll cut some paper. So this is important, guys. The 1,000 stone. If you don't do good here, the 6,000 is just useless. You got to create that edge first. That new edge. And if you don't do that, then the 6,000, what are you polishing? Because this thing doesn't really actually sharpen once you get to 6,000 grit. It's really only polishing. So you're only going to remove metal like that here. You'll remove a little bit on the 6,000, but it's not going to be significant. I'd be here all day if I was just using 6,000. So we got the technique down, still holding that 20-degree angle, using the whole stone. You can focus here on the sides, trying to place that pressure in when I'm going away from the knife here. Start flat, just doing that whole blade, you know. Working both sides. We got a nice sludge here working, so that's great. You know the steel's coming off. If you don't got this sludge, if you don't have that little brown shaving, then you're probably not pressing hard enough. You don't have to press ridiculously hard. Once again, just some firm pressure. Got my thumb here. Other hand just guiding the knife. Not enough pressure, you don't sharpen the edge. You don't get a new edge. So slow.
How about some knives have like a
Starting to dry off there.
60-40 gauge or whatever?
Yeah,
Like 80-20?
I was talking about it briefly. Some sushi knives have a 70-30, they're called. So 70 degrees on one side, 30 on the other. Those actually, they feel much sharper than a 50-50, but they're not going to stay as long. You're going to find that you have to sharpen that thing a little bit more. And it's really good for slicing. Like sushi knives, yanagis, big long knives that they use to slice fish. Those are usually a 70-30 because it could be a finer edge. But you'll have to sharpen that thing a little bit more than usual. long you got in here, Mom?
It's done right now.
Cool. So thank you guys for sticking around. I really appreciate it. If you could learn something along the way, even better. But I really do appreciate everybody coming in right now, hanging out with me, sharpening some knives. I know it's been hard. It's been hard for me to put videos out just because I haven't been catching many fish. I went clamming with my buddy Nick in the last video. If you haven't seen that, we made a freaking killer clam chowder there at the beach. And I might do some more clamming content. Try to do some more trout fishing, but just we're in this weird transition period of like, it's not quite winter, but it's not quite, it's not cold enough yet here. It's getting there. Don't have any ice. Maybe do a little bit of ice fishing. So it's been weird trying to make videos. I'm thinking about doing just cooking videos, but I don't know if that's going to clash with the catching cooks or not. Just something's better than nothing. Figure I do this live stream, sharpen some stuff, and hang out with everyone.
Larson Outdoors says, I'm like a sponge, learning all I can from you, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Same thing, man. When this COVID's over, you're on the list, Mark. I know you want to do some clamming. I know you want to do some type of fishing and stuff like that. I definitely learned something from you as well, man. Once again, I am not a trapper at all. But it's definitely cool seeing you, how you set up all those stuff for the fox, coyotes. I know you're trying to get that 10.
Gad says, if you could only take one knife with you to a desert island, which would it be?
One knife with me. It definitely would not be this one that I'm using. This one's great. Probably one of my favorites. But it's not going to hold an edge as long as I need it to. You could go German steel, stainless steel. That stuff's going to hold it a little bit longer. I don't know. I like this Santoku. It can do a little bit of everything, the vegetable knife. And this one, I feel like holds a little bit longer edge than this one. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe it might have to be this. It might be the Santoku. Might be that. For an all-around knife. It wouldn't be this, the carbon. Just because it would rust if I didn't wipe it off every time. It wouldn't be a small petty like that, So I don't know. Maybe between the Santoku, it's going to hold a little bit of a longer edge. Mara's knife. That's a good knife, too. That thing holds an edge for a while.
Harry says, can you sharpen a butter knife?
Yeah, sure. Bring it on over. Is that Harry? What's going on, Harry? I skunked yesterday on the Rockaway. Whoops. It's all right. I don't think anybody here's fishing by us.
No, I don't think they are.
Was that yesterday? 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Got my days mixed up. So 2 days ago. I only went out for like an hour or two in the evening.
Did you fly fish?
I fly fish and then it got freaking messed up. And then I threw a few lures. Couldn't get anything to come out of the that hole there in the river in the Rockaway. Harry knows the spot. Trying to do a catch and cook. I have an idea for the next video. but I need a trout. We're getting there now.
When does trout season end?
It's open throughout the winter.
Oh, okay.
It'll close a few weeks before spring stocking. It's open all winter. You just got to find the fish. Once again, the fishing has been tough. All right, so we're getting close to the end here. This is the 6,000 grit stone. I'm just going to soak it for a little bit. Really not that long. Just because it's a finishing stone, it doesn't need to soak as long. But we're getting close here. I could feel this. This is starting to feel good. Starting to grab on a little bit. Using the whole blade. I know it sounds repetitive.
So you've yet to use the finishing stone?
I have not used the finishing stone yet. This is just 1,000.
The finishing stone is 2,000?
6,000.
6,000.
Typically, you can buy a combo stone that's 1 in 6,000. You can buy them separately. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that sludge. See that? Look at that all on the counter. So you gotta have a crappy rag to wipe all that up. Doesn't stain anything. It's just metal shavings. Still got plenty there on the stone. Put a little fresh water on it. Starting to feel good. Do you think the angle's all right? See it?
Yeah, you see it very well.
It's all about the angle. If you're holding that 20 degrees, you're good to go. You can follow the knife like this. Go straight down. You can do it like this too. Do a little bit more of a swoop. I'll do that usually more with a knife that's more rounded. You know, this thing isn't super rounded there, so you can just do it pretty much straight. Opposed to this, maybe if you're sharpening like that with a wood stock like that, maybe you'd go and really try to follow that. But regular little technique, any kind of knife, this kind of sharpening works. Just go ahead and use that old stone. So 50-50 blade. We're trying our best to do even on both sides. Once again, I'm not counting. I'm not going to get that crazy with it. It's going to be plenty good enough. And I could feel that stone starting to get uneven again. Alrighty. I think we're about there. Let's call it. So I'm going to flatten this thing because I think I'm going to be done using it. Putting that water on there. You see all that coming off. Doesn't take long. Give that a rinse.
Mark J. Larson said he would bring some elk steaks for surf and turf.
That sounds like some real deal stuff right there. That'd be awesome. Real surf and turf. So yeah, once again, that's the 800. Either side of the stone, don't matter. I choose to use this side so I know what it is. You know, just in case. I mean, I know what it is, but that side's all flat now. Good to get dried and stored away. All right, by now the 6,000 should be soaked enough. Doesn't have to soak as long as the other guy. Now it's finishing time. Start with the other one. Put a little water on there. Same thing, guys. Actually, no, before I start, I just want to show this. If you wanted to cut paper here, it might. You know, I think 1,000 is a very rough sharpen. Let's see. Now, see, once again, it's like, it's cutting it, isn't great. Let's put some water on there. And now we're really gonna shine that edge. Not as much steel is going to come off this. We'll still get a little bit of that sludge. You want that sludge? But it won't be as much. You might actually be able to see it a little bit better on here. Thank you, everybody who's stuck around this long. I appreciate that. Slow it down here a little bit. You can actually see it a little bit better on this stone since it's lighter. Oh shit, did I fucking cut myself? Well, that's a first. On live stream. I didn't even feel it. You see some blood on that stone. All right, that is what not to do, guys. Do not do that. Wow. Look at that. You can't make that up. Tiny.
Medic.
Tiny, guys. Uh-oh. I gotta go to the hospital for that. Jeez. I don't even think that's enough for a Band-Aid, to be honest with you. It's too small. I just gotta go with it. Need to put on. Oh, we ran out of those gloves.
No way.
Oh, they're in my car. In the little bin.
You want a little Band-Aid?
No, I don't think it's. Got water here on the stone. You know, I don't even think like that's going to even help. It's like so small too. It might be okay. It's really small. I can't believe that. You can't make this up, guys. I just cut myself sharpening my knives.
Dr. Campbell said, clean out the metal shavings from your wound.
Clean out the metal shavings from my wound. All right, let's do a little soap.
Have you had tetanus shot recently?
Yeah, I'm good. I have had my tetanus shot. A little soap. Let's clean this off a little bit. Let's clean the knife off a little bit. Well, guys, like I said, it's the first time I nicked myself in a while. I don't know what to do. Should I do a little Band-Aid?
You need a little
It's so small, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even worth it. All right, we'll see. If there's blood on the stone, I will stop again to do a Band-Aid.
We ain't serving no food around here.
We ain't serving no food around here. We're just going to keep rolling. And I'll just hold the paper towel. Nah, Band-Aid. All right. Brief intermission. While Mara's getting me a Band-Aid. It's just going to be a pain. Man, will you look at that? The light isn't good. I'll get down here.
It's little, right?
It's so small.
Let me see. Will this fit?
Yeah. That will. Can't make that up, guys. Sharpening some knives. For those who are...
Okay.
We got the medic. I got it.
Where even is it?
Right here.
So small, I can't even see it.
So small.
All right.
All right. Back in action. Pretty wimpy, but the blood was going to get on the stone, guys, so had to take care of that. Let's get back at it. Back in action, sharpening the stone. I didn't even feel the little cut, you know. Must mean it's getting sharp because it's kind of just like a little incision. Not even. Nothing. That's crazy. You see, is it the resolution's all right? It's looking weird on my camera.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like bad connection or like what.
It's a computer.
It's weird.
Weird.
I'm not sure why.
Move that out of the way. So 6,000 does not take as long as the 1,000. Maybe half the time, if that. This is just a polishing stone, so any of the stuff that you did on the 1,000, that's kind of the stuff that matters. And then this is going to really polish the edge to help cut through that paper, make it a little bit more of a fine edge.
Harry says the room isn't bright enough, so the computer is generating fake pixels to fill in the shadows.
Is it?
Really?
Because I don't know. We had some lights on in the background, and then when I put those on, it made it worse. Because I guess the background light is not better.
Really?
Yeah. Is it dark? Can you guys see this?
I mean, you can see it.
Maybe next time we'll have to get the light and like point it this way.
Oh, yeah.
Fake pixels. Got that sludge going, guys. You want that sludge. Don't take it away. Yeah, it is starting to feel real good. Just gonna follow that. And make it so you can see. That's how it kind of looks.
Campbell Soup says, will you bottle the official line cook sludge and sell it?
The sludge! Stuff's gold right there. You need it. Some people can't make their own sludge. Save the sludge. And for regular home use, this thing should be sharp for a while. If you use proper care, hone it.
Also, like, you shouldn't, like, a knife like that, like, don't go cutting some bread or anything.
Yeah, please. Yeah, you want to try to use it as it's intended, you know? A general chef's knife, vegetables, you can cut meat. You need to slice stuff. Don't go cutting bread. Don't go like, I don't know. You generally don't want to try to go through bone. You know, if you had to. Sometimes I use that, this Wusthof because it's so thick. I'll use it to like crack a lobster shell with the back of the knife. But any Japanese knife, you don't want to do that. Just treat it good. What's up, Mike? I can see, I actually can see the chat a little bit. Right now, we are at 6,000 in the stone, which is the finishing stone. Thanks for coming in. No worries that you were late. I appreciate it, Mike. We're going to see if we can get this thing sharp. Cut my finger. Not complaining, though. It's a tiny cut. This thing's getting there. I think we're going to call it here in a second before we do the other knife so we can show you what a finished knife pretty much looks like. I'm doing this finishing stone here for a second. Let's see, I see some people here in the chat. Mud Tramp, thanks for stopping in. I got M&K here. Foo Fight Showdown, thank you so much. Raymond, you've been in here. I really appreciate you, man. Hope everybody here is doing good. Chilling out, hanging out, sharpening some knives, cutting some fingers. You know how it is. I'll probably use this thing in my next catch and cook so you guys can see. All right. I feel it's time. So I'm going to wipe that off. I'll give it a rinse. Same thing with the 6,000. Give it a little flatten. We're going on to the next knife. And that's it for the 6,000. That thing gets flat pretty quick. Put that off to the side. Just rinsing it off, replacing the water for the next one. Now let's see if I did a crap job, guys. All right, we're going on there. Wipe it down a little bit here. All right, so we got, yeah, it's really interesting. See the pixels a little bit here. All right, wiping it off with a paper towel. And that's a finished knife. first one's done, we'll be able to see that new edge there. You can see it looks glossy, definitely more than before. You can see it right there with the camera, right there by my finger, the light bouncing off that edge. All right, so now the thing's pretty sharp. You can use the honing knife just to make sure that everything's nice and straight with the blade, since we're sharpening on random sides. So this is just gonna put that blade straight, like we were talking about earlier. You feel it with your finger. Oh my God. You can feel it. Like it'll grab onto your nail a little bit. All right. If this doesn't do this, I'll be upset. Razor sharp. Didn't even stand a chance, this paper. Sorry, a little rip there. But that's sharp, even the tip. Passed the paper test. We're gonna save that one to cut an onion, something like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. You can feel it. You really can. Feel it on your fingers there. You like put your fingers across that. Here, touch that thing. You'll be able to verify.
Woo! That's sharp. Oh my goodness.
That's ridiculous, right?
That's nice.
Right?
Wow.
Better than a job at the store.
Oh my gosh.
It's scary, right?
Really
Like when you
nice.
when you feel it with your finger, you feel the blade like grab. You know?
Yeah, it really does. Wow.
So we got someone there to verify the finished product there.
That is nice.
And the stainless knives, those are much easier to sharpen. I find that the VG10, you know, these take a little bit more time, a little bit more love to sharpen these things up good. Just because the stainless is a different kind of steel. Once these are sharp, once you get these sharp, they're like really sharp. So let's finish the last one. Cut some stuff up. People in the chat loving the sharp knife. I drink some water. Yeah, but that thing's sharp. No doubt about it. I know it, I'm pretty sure that thing will shave hair right out of the box. I don't know if I do that good of a job that it's going to do that. I mean, it might, you know.
Very sharper than right out of the box.
It's sharp.
It's sharp.
You feel that thing.
Oh my gosh.
And so I know that we've been talking through this stuff and I've been sharpening here, but I bet you can get a knife done 20, 25 minutes if you're just going at it. Get that thing back to factory sharp, even sharper than that. Got the sludge back. Don't want to get rid of that sludge. Save the sludge. 20-degree angle, just like we were talking about. I'll do a recap there at the end for anybody missed it. Hopefully we went through any stone questions. Once again, I'm using an 800 grit. This is a 6,000 here, 800 to begin with. The higher the grit, the finer the stone. Polishing stones around 6,000, 6,000 plus. Ones that actually sharpen, actually create a new blade are your 800s, your 1000s, even 2000s. You don't have to go crazy buying all different kinds. I know people who are professionals have like, you know, a 1,000, a 4,000, a 6,000, an 8,000. You know, I'm definitely going to look into the 8,000 stones, but they're expensive. They're a good brand, Sharpen. An 8,000 grit stone, that's like a ridiculous polish edge. that might cut your hair, you know, like you were saying, Carter, shave your arm hair. But as a general kitchen knife, 6,000 is going to do a perfect job. Be sharper than you need for most things. Just over an hour now, hour 16. Sharpened 2 knives. Talked about it a little bit, so that kind of makes sense, right? Around 20, 25 minutes a knife. I'd say that's pretty close. We've been on for an hour 16, maybe a little longer. But this is an important part here at 6,000. Creating that fine edge. Working this one from the butt all the way to the tip. Do you have a razor blade like to slice the garlic? No, I do not. Make the prison sauce. You know, I got to go back and watch that. All I know is, you know, the garlic's so thin that it basically liquefies. I know, I just knocked some sludge off, but I actually had too much water. If you got too much water on the stone, you don't want this thing swimming. You just want enough that it acts as a little bit of a lubricant, helps the knife slide along the stone. That's a good point too. If you got too much water on there and it's swimming, that's not good. You want just enough so it slides nice. Too much, and it's you're not getting good contact with the blade, not enough, and you'll see it like doesn't slide. It makes a sound. Cold water too. You don't really want to run hot water on these stones. Kind of messes them up. Something about a Damascus knife, you know, it's just pretty. A lot of people like them. I mean, a lot of people get knives for aesthetics. You know, this is definitely like one that looks nice, but it's functional too. It could double as something to slice sashimi, or like just a general slicing knife. If you want to do something finesse slicing. You know, I'd use another knife if I want to like rough chop something or whack through some vegetables. I probably wouldn't use this. I'd go for the Santoku. If I were doing something finesse, go ahead and use this one. Clean slice. Show you guys that a little bit. This one's feeling good too. This one takes longer. So I think it's going to be plenty sharp, but I'm going to stop here in a second so we can cut some stuff up. I think it's going to be plenty good. I feel it. You can check it as you're going. M&K's out of here. Thank you for stopping in, Mike. I appreciate it, man. We'll have to get out soon, do some more clamming, some type of fishing. We'll make it work. All right, we're going to call it 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rinse that off. Band-Aid's coming off. That's all right. I don't know. Unless we get some stuff on our vegetables. Some blood, a little blood on the vegetables. Flatten the stone. As you can see, I got them drying off over here. Rinse that. This stuff I can use hot water. Just a stone holder here. This thing too. You know what? When I'm at it, this is the 240 I use to fix a tip. Good as new. All right. Good. Get the sludge off. Nice and clean. Let's get the other knife back. Both of them here. Cutting board. Real quick, we'll show this. Once again, I'm just going to align the blade. Using that ceramic steel. Don't have to go too ridiculously fast. We're just doing it real quick. Let's put that knife back here. And let's take a look at that. Pixels. But as you can see, I mean, you can really tell here with that light in the background. You can see that edge. It's like a brand new edge. Every time, that's basically what you're doing. You're shaving down the knife and you're creating a new edge. Nice and smooth polish. You can see that it looks smooth. You can feel it. Yeah, it's a good edge. Good old paper. Whoops. Sometimes you don't hold it right too. It won't do it. Paper test complete. All right. Let's cut something. So let's see, what do I got? An onion. And show this. Let's cut an onion. All right. We'll go with the first one, the Mazaharu. We'll see that cut through an onion. We'll go briefly, maybe talk about some knives. Peel that onion. I wonder if I'll try to do a little bit of a close-up view here too, if I can. Peel an onion just like normal. We're gonna do a julienne here. You know, general how to hold a knife. You know, if you're reaching out. I'm a lefty. If you're a righty, you're gonna hold it like this, but you're reaching out like you're gonna shake someone's hand. You want to hold it not too tight. It's a nice grip. Got my knuckle here. thumb on the other side, pinching it lightly. You know, you want this to feel like fluent. You know, you don't want it to feel like, you know, you're holding this too tight, then you can't really do any nice cuts. All right, and then the other hand, that's important too. See a lot of people getting started. You want to try your best to do this claw. And that's going to make the knife kind of slide off that finger so you avoid cutting yourself. So we'll go ahead. We'll do a little chopping motion here. Just like you're doing a nice julienne. As you can see there already, I mean, we got some really thin sliced onion. You know, let's see if we can show them here a little closer. I really want you to see that. So you can do a rocking motion like this. That's going to get that all nice. You can do a more of a straight chop too. When you get down there to the end, you know, same thing. For those who don't julienne onions, that's how you julienne an onion. Everything there is nice and thin. If you want to do a dice, you're going to hold that straight. I actually should have left the butt on. It's going to be hard to show this. Going across that, just like that, a few times. Then you got your cross section, knife work 101. All right. Then you went across the onion. You're going to go this way. As you can see there, that's a fine dice. So we're showing how to do a, what's up? Oh, show it up a little bit. Okay, we got a, yeah, once again, fine dice there. Julienne, that's a fine julienne. Got a fine dice. We're going to save this stuff. You know, the little bit of the end of the onion, you know, you can actually go across this way. Try your best to get the end. Still got some fine dice there. And you're left with this little bit here. You can chop that up a little bit too. Once again, you could save that for scrap, try to cut that the best, but it's hard to get the very end as a fine dice too. All right. That was a good test with that. What do you guys think about that? What else can we cut? Let's save all these onions. I'll do something with it. Can always make sauce. Mars nodding. Make sauce. Let's see what else we got. What can we cut? Look in the fridge. We got a lot of onions. I know we'll show a little bit more finesse. Some peas. Some carrots. And I'll do a pepper for the other knife. I'll do the squash maybe. Maybe the rest of this apple.
Oh my gosh, the peas look so weird.
The peas?
Look.
What the heck?
That looks like somebody else's couch.
Wait, what is going on?
That's not our couch either.
Is there like some like
interruption?
Yeah.
Yo, what the heck?
What in the freaking guys, what? How does it look?
That is not.
Oh, look! Oh my God! When I hold something green, is this a green screen?
What?
Wait, what picture is that?
Where is that? Where is that? Oh my God!
Oh my God! Because it's green. So wait, what's going on here? Why is that? This is a couch and a table that we've never been to. Do you see that?
Where is this?
Guys, tell me if you've ever seen this. Am I doing some weird green screen thing? Like, what am I doing? What is going on?
They're not gonna be able to see you cut that.
Guys, how do I make this? Because this is a snap pea. This is green. So there must be some weird green screen thing going on here. See if you can find a green shirt.
I don't have a green shirt.
All right, how do I not have that? No wonder it's been weird the whole night. Yeah, StreamYard, guys. Have you ever seen this? Look at this.
Oh, Carter said it must be the stock green screen photo on StreamYard or something.
Yeah,
so
but
that must be their green screen photo.
What is going on here? How do I Oh,
That is so weird.
I'm going into settings, guys. Bear with me here. Default. What's going on here? Logo. Background. I don't know, guys. Can we not cut snap peas here because we're having this issue?
I don't think we have anything else that's green.
Yeah, but I want to just not have the green screen. Like, I don't know how to do that.
Oh.
That's just ridiculous. So I couldn't even show this, like, after I cut it. Settings. Camera. Green screen. Oh, did I just fix it? Oh, we can see it. That's hilarious. Sorry, it's delayed here. Mara's watching on the other computer in a little bit of a... Why? That is a default setting. That is a ridiculous setting, StreamYard.
Oh my God.
I did not do that, but...
That was the issue the entire time. There's no more...
There's no more.
There's no more fuzzy.
Yeah.
There's no more fuzz.
How do I get back, guys? Sorry, I'm new to StreamYard. I haven't used it too many times.
Wow, that was a problem the whole time.
Okay. Wow, there we go, guys. Green. Looking at a stock photo of a couch, literally. Like, what is this?
Wow.
Wow. Oh, look at this. Now we got a crisp stream. All right, guys. These are some sugar snap peas. You know, if you want to stack some of these up, boom. Stack them up like that. We can show a nice fine. You know, if you ever want to do a fine julienne on those. Same thing this way. I mean, it's just plowing through. I don't really know a good, like, slicing thing to do with the other knife. Gab wants to eat the peas. I'll eat them. Tastes like peas. This one with your apple. See, there's a slicing motion here. That might be as close as we get to the tomato. You know, like if you got a cheese board, this is great. Use a slicing knife like that. Could make like a little apple thing. Like that. For your cheese board. I wouldn't whack a carrot with this since more finesse. But if like you want to show that like this can whack a carrot, like maybe if you're like cutting some carrot. You know, I don't know. Carrot's not one of those things that's very like cool to cut. No. That's it, guys. We cut some stuff up here. You know, these knives are like real sharp now. Real sharp.
Show saltwater born sticker on my fridge.
Oh, saltwater born's here?
Yeah.
Guys, we got some stickers up here on the fridge. Got saltwater born there, repping you guys over here in Jersey. You know, I hope that expo went good for you guys. Got M&K there. I don't have that many stickers yet, to be honest with you. But I'm over here eating some apples, cutting these with the knife, nice and sharpened. No problem. Little snack, you know? Well, I think that's a success. We sharpened some knives. Got 2 of them done here today. I could spend some time and do the other ones, you know. But these 2 are done here today. Maybe I'll go back. This one's still in pretty good shape. This is the carbon. The wood staves, they could use some work. But, yeah. I think they came out good. You can definitely see the edge. Brand new edge on there. You can see that thing shining. Nice and smooth. And that'll be sharp for a little bit. And no problem, saltwater born. Anytime. All right, guys. I think we're getting towards the end here. I really appreciate anybody who's stayed for this long. Hope you can learn something from this. I know it was a little bit repetitive, sharpening some knives for an hour. But yeah, I'm going to ask any more questions here. I'm probably going to cut this thing in a little bit. Eating the apple here. Mark, I appreciate you coming in. Anytime, I'm just, you know, glad doing something different. Show a little bit of a different side of fishing and cooking here with a little bit of sharpening. Thanks, Carter, for staying in the whole time. If you have any more questions, let me know. I don't know if you have stone at home or not, but if you need any help, hope you learned something here. And you see any more questions there, Mark, because you're in real time? I think that's it. Hope you enjoyed seeing me sharpen some knives. Once again, we did 2 of them here today. Both are pretty razor sharp. Carter, I'll do one last thing for you. I don't know if this is going to do it. Let's just do this one more time. If it shaves the arm, then it's really sharp. I think it's really sharp as it is, but I don't really know if it'll do it. And as you can see, that is some arm hair. And that right there is where I shaved it from. So we could definitely, let's get that arm hair. This is nasty. Boom. Right there, guys. It's that sharp. So 1,000 and 6,000. Using the right technique, maintaining that 20-degree angle, that's going to shave some arm hair right there. Well, I appreciate everybody stopping in. As always, thank you so much for the support. Hopefully I can get some new videos up here. I appreciate everybody, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for stopping in. Bye.